the monastery, the village monastery, and now become urban or city monastery. And the second one is the forest monastery. In fact, the forest monastery is the original one, in the sense that since the time of the Buddha, the forest, the temple or the monastery were in the forest, and because monks in the Buddha's time are more or less wanderer. They are like a mendicant, and they prefer, if they have to get settled, they prefer to settle in the forest or outside the city for solitude, for simple life. In fact, this is the way of life of the Buddha when he got enlightenment. He preferred to wander around the forest, and the first group of his disciples were taught and got enlightened in the forest. In fact, the life of the Buddha is closely related with the forest, with the nature. He was born under the tree, and he got enlightenment under the tree, the Bodhi tree, and he teach mostly in the forest or outside the cities, outside the urbanity. And he also passed away under the tree. And during his lifetime, he encouraged monks to practice in the forest, to live under the tree, and or the cave, or in the cave. But that doesn't mean that monks have no connection with the people. Monks are obliged to go for alms round in the village. He cannot pick the fruits on his own. He is not like the hermit. The hermit can live in the forest without any contact with the people, because they can get the fruit from the trees. But monks are not allowed to do that. Monks have to beg for food from the villagers. That's why they have to go for alms round every morning. That is a way to encourage monks, or to push monks to have contact with the people at least once a day. So there's a kind of proper distance between monks and the village, or monks and the lay people. Not too close, but not too far. But to be in the distance that they can come and beg for food. So in practical term, they cannot be away from the villagers 4 or 5 kilometers, because if it already takes 2 hours back and forth if the monks are about 4 or 5 kilometers from the village. But there's a proper distance between villagers and the monk. but the monk have to be close to the nature, and this is the way of living of the monks since the time of the Buddha. That was about 2,500 years. But anyway, later on there was a new kind of temple, monastery. There's a village temple, village monastery, and which is in the middle of the community, and they have role to play to respond to the need of the villagers, not only spiritual need but also worldly need. And what worldly need I means the healthcare, the education, social service that is essential for the life of the people, the villagers. But regarding the forest monastery, as you see now, this is more or less a typical forest monastery in Thailand. But it is not typical in the sense that there are a lot of people come to practice at this place. The typical forest monastery in Thailand are very quiet, not many people. The one you are going to see the day after tomorrow, that is another temple of mine. That is more typical because quite far from the village, and not many people come. Not many people stay. Just a few monks and a few nuns. Here we tend to make it a center for meditation, as you may know already from the introduction yesterday. As I told you that the monks are encouraged to live and practice in the forest. In the past, they don't need to conserve or protect the forest. Forest conservation is not their responsibility because the forest is not under threat. The forest in the past is a large plot of land that nobody dare to destroy because it is too big. It was too big because the people believe in the divine beings, or the ghost or the spirit that protect the trees or protect the forest. In the past, when people want to kill, want to do poaching or cut down the tree, they have to request the spirit, the forest spirit, to allow them to do that. Otherwise they may get into trouble. This is a belief. So forest was not under the threat from the people. Not to mention that the technology at that time is very low. People have only axe and saw, not a machine. But now the forest is under threat from the people, from the human being. from the villagers, from the farmers, from the poachers, and from the loggers. So forest conservation now become the responsibility or the mission of the monks. Here you may notice that we have to erect the wall around the area. That is a way to protect the forest. In the past we don't have money, so we have to do scouting every now and then, especially in summer, because fire could take place. When we heard the sound of the gun, we have to rush to the spot to see whether there's poaching. We don't expect to arrest them, but just to let them know that we are going, so they will get dispersing. Why the Buddha encouraged monks to live and practice in the forest? The main reason is solitude. To practice meditation, solitude is very important. The peaceful environment is conducive to peaceful mind, especially when you know how to meditate, But it is not easy to be peaceful in the forest for the beginners because of the danger, the potential danger, or the perceived danger, and because a beginner would be afraid of the animals, the tigers, the lions, snakes, and so on. Even the nice animals like elephant can be dangerous. At Khao Yai, many monks die because of the wild elephants. But there's a reason for that. Sometimes monks say that they have spellbinding, right? Have spellbinding, to subdue the elephant. But elephant, they don't know. They just crash or tumble down. If you just run away, maybe no problem. But if you stand in front of them and try to use your magic, that is dangerous. And many monks die because of that. They try to use their magic to subdue the elephant. So in the beginning, to stay in the forest, to practice in the forest is not easy. It does not lead to peaceful mind. But once you are familiar with the forest, you will feel that the forest is quite peaceful, despite a lot of noise all day. But your mind will familiar with the noises and disregard of them, and then you find peace in your mind. And once peace or calmness happen to your mind, you can see it you can see the mind clearly, like the still water. If the water is stirred up, it is not easy to see what is under the water. You cannot use the stirred water even as the mirror to reflect, to see your face. But once the water is still, when you can look through it and see what is under the water, the fish, the rocks, the sand, the small animals, or the seaweed, or the weed. And you can use the surface of the water as a mirror to see your face clearly and without distortion. If the water is stirred, it can distort the reflection. You cannot see your face accurately. But once the surface is still, is calm, you can see inside the water and you can see yourself accurately. This is how the peaceful mind, clear, calm mind can help you to understand the true reality of the world around you and of the mind inside you. You can know yourself deeply and accurately, not as you wish, but as it is. Not what as you expect, but as it is. That's the way it is. So calmness and insight are closely related. Once the mind is calm, you can have insight to the real nature of yourself, of the mind, of the world around you. You can see that the external nature and internal nature, or outer nature and inner nature, are not separated. In fact, they are the same. I like an Indian meditator, and he said that once you look inside and you see nothing, that is wisdom. Once you look outside and you see that you are them, you and them are the same, that is compassion. I think this is what the wisdom and compassion in Buddhism means. The ultimate wisdom is to realize that there's nothing like self or myself. The sense of me and mine is just the illusion. If you look deeply into your mind, you can find nothing. Nothing means no self. It doesn't mean that there is nothing. It means that there is no self. Everything everything exists, but there is no self or separate, ultimate entity inside everything. This is compassion. This is wisdom, and the ultimate compassion is to realize that we and others are the same. There's no sense of. In fact, there's no separate, no boundary, no line that separate us and the others. Everything are the same as I. It means that we become oneness with the other, with the others. And that's how compassion arises. No ill will, no wish to harm anybody, because we feel oneness with the others. And this is the outcome of the meditation that can be achieved through meditation in the forest. First, the solitude, and second, peaceful mind, and third, the wisdom. And in fact, the nature not only produces solitude to us, but it can also enlighten us. Many monks, when they saw the falling leaves, the dry leaves that is falling down, they got enlightenment, because what they saw is the impermanence. They saw impermanence from the falling leaves. Sometimes they meditate the lotus and see the lotus become, the blooming lotus become dry and the petals fall down. It becomes decay. And he got enlightenment, because there's a truth emanate from the lotus. The truth about impermanence, dissatisfaction, and no self. In other words, the nature the forest can teach us the ultimate truth. Not only peaceful surrounding or solitude, but also the truth. I like a Japanese poet. His name is Issa. He's also, I think he's also the monk too. He wrote a small poem, just a few words. Something like haiku. Haiku is composed of only 7 words. He said that the dew, the dew on the grass reflect the ultimate truth. He said that all teaching of the Buddha is reflect from the dew on the grass. He used just a few words. That is true, All kinds of nature can emanate the truth, can teach us the truth, the ultimate truth, if our mind is open. In fact, we need open mind, not only to see the truth, but also to appreciate the beauty of the nature. If your mind if your mind occupied or engaged in anything, worry about your family, thinking about your work, or frustrated about your friend, it is very difficult for you to perceive the beauty of nature, or even to perceive the beauty of the song. Have you heard about the experiment? Not a kind of experiment, but an event in Washington metro station a few years ago. There was a a violinist. He played violin near the entrance, I think inside the metro station of Washington during the rush hour. You know, people, 100 or 1,000 people keep passing. But that violinist, they play beautiful song by Bach, four songs Bach, you know, for about 45 minutes, and he got only $20. Then there are not more than 20 persons just watch or stop to hear the song. But most of them just pass away. There are some a few boys, 4 or 5 years old, stop to listen. But his mother just push him. And nobody knows that this was under the observation by a group of people. And it was later reported that violinist is Joshua Bell. Joshua Bell is the great violinist, you know, and the violin that he played is about $3 or $4 million. The great violinist, the beautiful song composed by Bach, and the expensive violin, very beautiful, but very few people just appreciate his song. You say song? Not song. It's not music. Music score. Yeah. Joshua Bell said that the previous 3 days previously, he had a concert in New York City, and the ticket was sold out. Very expensive. People seek to listen to performance by Joshua Bell. They have to pay $100. But when Joshua Bell composed it free, out of charge, nobody take care. Why? Because the music is not beautiful. You think it's not not because the music is not beautiful, but people don't care because people are occupied. Their mind are occupied by something else. Their mind, so they close. Their mind close, not perceive the beauty of the song. To perceive the beauty of the song, your mind has to be open, not closed. To be open means to be free from distraction, to be free from worriness, to be from the sense of hurry. People who pass Joshua Bell, they think about how to catch the train or have to be hurried. They think about the work that they have to do that morning. Most people think about the future. They are distracted by the future. They are not open to the present moment. The present moment is overwhelmed by the song, by the music of Joshua Bell. But very few people open to the present moment. They think about future. You know. So you see that even not really to open or to perceive the ultimate truth, only the simple beauty of the nature of the arts, of the music. You need open mind. You know. So you can see that the open mind is very important. And meditation helps us to open the mind to the present moment. to be at present. And if you know how to be present, you can learn a lot from nature. You can learn a lot from forest. And even though you are not in the forest, you are somewhere else in the city, on the road, it is still possible to perceive the beauty of the nature and the truth from the trees, from the birds, and so on. So this is the main reasons why monks were encouraged to practice and stay in the forest, and or to be surrounded by the nature. I think, as I told you, this is not the tradition. This is not the tradition of the. Despite the fact that the forest monastery is a tradition of the southern school of Buddhism or Theravada, but the sense of how the importance of nature and meditation is also recognized by the northern school of Buddhism, that is Japan, Korea, especially the Zen tradition. If you go to Kyoto, or if you visit Zen monastery in Japan, you can see that, you can notice that the nature is an essential part of the temple there. They even
replicate model.
Yes, even replicate model the whole nature into the small garden, the dry garden or the water garden. Sometimes they turn it to be abstract, like the Ryuanji temple. Ryuanji temple is very famous about the garden, the rock garden. All these 11 rocks, but it represents the nature, the whole universe. But apart from Ryuanji, you can see that the mountains or the mountain of the whole forest has been replicated or modeled into the garden. For what? For meditation. Not only as a environment for drinking tea, not as a background, but as a focus. The focus for meditation. This is a wisdom that come out of necessity, because Japan has not much space. They have a limited space, so they cannot go and live in the forest as in Thailand. So they just replicate forest into the small garden and meditate. And some, I'm sure, got enlightenment from such a contemplation. So, since the nature is very important for meditation or for the spiritual growth of the monks, including the lay people, so if you want to invite people to appreciate or to realize the truth as the monks has experienced, we have to protect the forest. as I told you that now the forest in Thailand everywhere is under the threat because the land is very expensive now, the timber is expensive, and now the forest is like a green gold. Yeah. So everybody want to exploit or use forest for commercial purpose. Now it's one of the main responsibilities for monks to protect and conserve the forest. But for me, I also aware that now the forest is not only good for spiritual growth of the people, but also for well-being. Because as you know, forest is the origin of the water, of the air, of biodiversity, and people, the villagers, especially in the rural area, their livelihood depend on the well-being of the forest. No forest means no water, no fertility, no food. Especially in the villagers in this area, on the mountain, they depend on the forest. So to protect the forest also means to conserve the livelihood of the people. So you can see that now the duty of monks as far as the forest conservation is concerned is not about spiritual but also temporal or worldly well-being. And in the next few days you will learn little by little about how we do to conserve the forest, either here or at Thamapaiwan or Phu Long that you will visit today after tomorrow. Okay, so this is the short introduction for monks and forest conservation. If you have question, please.
Can you describe I don't know if it's a regular, but a day in the life of a monk here?
Yes, you already know that we wake up before 4. We have a chanting at 4. Chanting 30 minutes and giving a talk for 30 minutes, and then 6 we go for alms round. There are our 4 villages that we monks go for food. 7:30 breakfast. Normally, if there's no visitors or no event, we don't have lunch. Monks have to eat lunch before 12. But if there's some event, we have meal prepared for monks and lay people before 12. Otherwise, no. Once a meal, once a day, and then free time until 6, chanting and listen to the talk. During the day, we may have manual work, especially during a special day. We have special day twice a month. That's when all members of the temple help doing physical work or manual work. This is a daily routine.
Full moon, new moon.
ใช่ It's like a Labor Day. Labor Day you stop working, but here Labor Day means you have to use your labor. Yes, we call it Labor Day. Yes.
In your career as a monk, for have you always, the forest is integral to Buddhism. Have you always felt in all 30 years that it's the job or one of the responsibilities of the monk to protect the forest, or is this something you've grown into or believe more as throughout your practice? Or is this like an original philosophy?
The situation has forced us to do that, to undertake that responsibility. When I first came here 30 years ago, I don't do anything, only meditation. And that was the first three months. But later on, when summer, at the summertime, there's a lot of fire at the surround the forest. So we have to stop meditation and go to get rid of the fire. That's how the sense of forest conservation develops from the reality. But in fact, before I become monk, I already know that the ecology system is in danger. But I don't have a chance to experience or to act
upon it.
Yes. Just to save the water, before I become a monk, just to save water, save electricity, but not to fight with the fire, not to fight with the poacher, and so on. It become also to speak, just become at the forefront of the forest conservation, not at the back seat anymore.
Do you ever go and talk to other monks of other monasteries within Thailand, maybe outside of Thailand, like a conference, kind of exchange ideas and see what else is going on?
About what issue?
Any issue, how things are going at your monastery, how they are going at their monastery. Do you ever have dialogues with other monks of other monasteries?
Yes. 20 years ago, we formed a network of monks on community development and forest conservation. In Thailand, the village monks, they do community work a lot. The forest monks do forest conservation, but the village monks, they do community work. And so we form a network of monks. Most of them are in the rural areas, like us. But and they have done a good job in protecting important forests. Some monk got arrested and put in prison just for a while. But to fight with the influential people who want to cut down the trees. But now that network has been less active than before, and I myself become more involved in local issues in terms of conservation. For example, we have at least once a year forest walk, green walk, about 8 days in December, to campaign for natural conservation in this area. Okay, we saw already yesterday. Yes, that is the local issue that we are active. Regarding the the conference outside the country, I have been the part of international network of engaged Buddhists, and which has members around the world, including the U.S. Buddhist Peace Fellowship in the U.S. is a member of the INEP, and every now and then I was invited to attend. No, I was invited every day, every time, but I have not much time to go. So just last year, and that I have had time to go and to attend to give a talk for international conference. But to be honest, I am not good at that kind of activity, because I think that speak in English is that spend a lot of my energy. I prefer to write rather than speak. Even speaking Thai, I feel sometimes awkward to speak in Thai. I'm more fluent at write.
Very prolific writer. Like 3 pieces a week sometimes?
No, just 1 or 2. So I prefer to work in national level or local. Have you been to Thailand before? No? Have you seen monks go for arm flower in the morning? Have you seen in Bangkok? If you like, you can join them tomorrow or not tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can join them.
Any day.
Follow them. Just observe.
Something
Huh?
has experience joy this morning.
But the day after tomorrow maybe not. You have to.
Yes, we can.
You can?
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
You have time, not hurry. Yes?
Can you describe how the role of the monks and the nuns are different and the same?
Different. Monks have monks here have manual work to do. Sometimes we have some construction, sometimes, and the routine work is to take care of the forest, to take care of the water and electricity. But food has been undertaken by the nuns, and so their center is in the kitchen. And but monks have a routine work to do in the other area, like the water, electricity is now become the main, like the bloodline of the Sukato. In the past, we don't. The electricity is not that important, but now it's important. At least to pump up the water, because now there are almost, now I think more than 100 people in the community.
But
I had a question. Sorry.
go ahead.
I'm just wondering if you could talk about how you practice acceptance of things the way they are, but also be working to change things and make them better.
In Buddhism, there are 2 kinds of work that we should do together. one we call how you call doing, and second is about being. Doing and being. Doing is about how to do with your body, with your work, with your surrounding, with the problems that arise. Being is about how to take care of your mind. The Buddha has stressed these two responsibilities. It has to go hand in hand. For example, when Buddha preach about compassion. In terms of being, you have to be compassionate, you have to be kind. But that is not enough. You have to doing, by giving, by proper speaking, by doing, by helping other people. So doing and being has to come together. When you sick, first you have to take of your mind, not to be not to be worried, not to be frustrated. But in other words, let go. But you have to take care of your health. You have to maybe go to see the doctor or to improve your health. Only let go not enough. If you don't worry, that's okay, but you have to heal it. You have to take care of your body. And when you saw the problems in the society, or when you found out that the nature is under threat, it is duty for us to take care, to protect. But at the same time, we have to take care of our mind, not to be angry, not to be frustrated. Try to be mindful, These two aspects have to go hand in hand. But a lot of people think that Buddhism is about taking care of the mind, not to do anything. That is not true. That's not enough. Whereas the other people, the non-Buddhists think that they are really active in addressing the problem, in managing the world around them, but they ignore being. They do the work with frustration, with anger, hatred, or suffering. So there are two extremes. Doing without being. We are taking care of the mind. The extreme is taking care of the mind, sabai, let go, but no action. According to Buddhism, the middle way is doing and being. Managing the world around us, taking care of the problem, but your mind has to be free from suffering. So this is what is the essence of what I try to convey in my talk that Asia mentioned in the beginning. The foundation of life in the world of action, in the world of activism. The foundation of life is the stable mind, the peaceful mind. If our mind is not peaceful, is not mindful enough, our action to save the world maybe have an adverse effect, or call it อะไรนะ flash อะไร back นะ
flashback
ไม่ใช่ที่มันผลสะท้อนย้อนกลับที่มันแย่ backlash ใช่
That's
backlash ใช่ไหมใช่ป่ะ if you have good intention try to save the world but you have you have anger you have frustration you have hatred it can be backlash like what the terrorists they are doing in many areas and not only religious but also environmental terrorists you see environmental terrorists sometimes what they done got the backlash in order to save the world or in order to better the world it make the world worse not to mention your health become worse too sometimes you commit suicide but you feel despair or you cannot save the world and got frustration commit suicide that's because they are more involved thinking about doing but not care about being
เบรกดีไหมครับหลวงพี่
ใช่เตรียมสมาธิใช่ไหม
so we take like 5 minutes break
10 นาทีก็ได้ห้องน้ำ
10 minutes there's restroom over there
restroom under the behind the tree no I say